Is that like weird streaking on there now? What the? I don't know what that's
If the thought of the show makes you shiver, 'cause the ground seems to move so damn fast. Go on, climb a roll of the reggae, tie your body to the mat.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, Knitting Podcast. My name's Heather and I live in Chicagoland with my 3 teenage sons and my boyfriend and our dog Beckett. And on this podcast, we talk about knitting and stuff I've gotten in the mail. And, you know, I also ramble on nonsensically about all kinds of stuff. This is going to be a regular episode, not a knit with me. I do some episodes like that too, as you've seen. I've only done 2 so far. There's not that many episodes. Oh my goodness. So I am recording this at like the worst possible time. I don't even know what time in the afternoon it is, but like, oh my gosh. So this is like the witching hour where the dog is being crazy. The kids have decided that now is a really great time to like run in and out of the family room and be really loud. I have been sitting here for the last half an hour asking my oldest son, or the oldest twin, because I have twins, like how long he was going to be in the shower, which is like, we only have 2 bathrooms. I have a really small house, and like the second bathroom is like right here. So I'm just like, so anyway, hi, welcome back. I have a couple of cute, okay, listen, I am drinking a beer, but I just started it. There's like, I had 1 sip. And yes, I know it's not after 5 o'clock, but it's been a week, guys. So beer it is for right now. Yeah, we'll get into story time later. Shoot, I was gonna try to be more professional with my intro. I feel like I started strong and then I just like went back to being my normal disorganized self. You can find me on Ravelry as the 4th Star Knits. No, you can't. That doesn't exist. You can find me on Ravelry as the 4th Star. You can find me on Instagram as the 4th Star Knits, where I don't post very often, but I will probably follow you and look at your posts. And that's about it, because social media is not always my thing. So, yeah. I have some show notes today. I was actually pretty organized this week. Well, as far as the podcast, I was organized. I don't know about the rest of my life. Anyway, you're probably wondering, or maybe you don't care, why I'm podcasting at such an inopportune moment. It's because I have been trying to podcast. Oh my gosh, Beckett. I've been trying to podcast all week with no success. I am way behind. Did I just draw myself? Wow. I really am a hot mess this episode. Anyway, I've been trying to podcast all week with no success. I have been just like working like a crazy person. I feel like I say that every podcast. It's probably getting old at this point, but summers for me really are like super, super busy at work. It tends to slow down like in between seasons. Again, my work is really like weather related. So when it's really, really hot or really, really cold, I go bonkers. But the shoulder seasons, it's not quite so bad. So hopefully as the weather starts to turn, which I can't believe we're even thinking about that already. But yeah, as the weather starts to get more into like the 60s and 70s, then I'll be able to hopefully resume some sense of normalcy. If that's even a thing now, I don't think it is. There's no such thing as normal now. Normal is a setting on the dryer, basically. But yeah, let's get into it. I only have 1 finished object, but I'm pretty stoked about it. So this is the Rewilding Shawl by Helen Stewart, the one that I started, I cast it on, I don't know, I think 2 episodes ago. But yeah, I am pretty pleased with it. And these were like all my leftover sock yarns, basically. So I have 2 yarns in here from another shawl, and then this is from a pair of socks, and this is from a pair of socks, this is from a pair of socks, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it turned out, does not go with the shirt really, but maybe we'll just make it go with this one. But yeah, it's super cute. I do want to point this out because this is very different. I did go many, many extra rounds of garter here. Like I think the garter ended like right here, and I went much farther before I did the picot bind off, just because I tried it on and it wasn't as long as I wanted it to be, and now it is. But yeah, this is a great little shawl. I got this in a collection of shawl patterns from Helen Stewart. She has an ebook with a bunch of her shawls, which I will try to remember to link below for you. But yeah, I was really happy with it. And I kind of like all the wacky like color changes in here. Yeah. It'll go with my my fall wardrobe, I think. So yeah, there's that. So that's my only finished object. For whips, I have, so I've got my luminary socks, which are trucking along. They started out kind of quick, and then I just kind of lost my sock mojo. I think that happens to a lot of people, like especially if you've knit several pairs of socks in succession. You just get kind of, I don't know, just over it or whatever. So, but yeah, so I think this is where I was last time, and I've only gotten this far. I turned the heel, got that done, and now I'm working on the foot. So, still on sock number 1, unfortunately, but I'll get there. I'm not in any hurry. The plan is to give these to his mom, you know, before it gets, these are a gift. I should probably speak as if I'm actually talking to a person and not just talking to myself. I'm sorry if I do that sometimes. I made these as a gift from my boyfriend's mother, so the plan is to give it to her before the weather really turns. So the boys are having like a big like Minecraft thing right now, which is, you might be able to hear the yelling back there, and oh my gosh, you guys, so I don't know how your kids are with Minecraft, or if you have kids or you deal with Minecraft, but Minecraft is like this all-consuming, world-building, highly pixelated fiasco that sucks children in and claims them for its own, and which is not a terrible thing. But anyway, so one of my twins has his own realm, and he wanted to set up like a group game with his 2 brothers. So he's got a twin, and then my younger son, who's just a couple years younger. And they were doing this, and my youngest son has a limb difference, and so he basically has like a thumb and like little nubbins for fingers, and that's it on his left hand, and it's a very small thumb. So for him, using like an Xbox controller or PS4 controller with the little joystick, he can, because his thumb is, he does have a joint there, so he can move it around and he can navigate through video games just fine. But for games that are set up on a laptop where you have to go between 4 letters in order to move your character around while also using a touchpad is incredibly, well, it's pretty much impossible. I mean, and this kid has pretty much figured out how to do everything one-handed that you need to do in this life. But this was just like, oh man. So I spent 2 hours trying to figure out how to like, I'm not even sure I knew what I was trying to do. I watched probably 14 YouTube videos. I tried to install a mod, which I've never done before. I've never played Minecraft, so I'm like dealing with a game that I don't really understand, and then trying to basically hack it using YouTube videos that are literally filmed by kids in like 5th and 6th grade who are so much smarter than I am, and and in the end, I never managed to get the Xbox controller or the PS4 controller to work with the game on my MacBook, which I think is insane that there is so little accessibility support for this game. Like, just seriously, it's not that difficult. There are so many people for a variety of reasons who need to use a controller rather than a keyboard in order to navigate a video game. Like, not just those of us with limb differences, but like, you know, there's other things too. So anyway, I was just like, I was enraged and frustrated and sad for my kid, and just, anyway, that's part of why I'm having a beer. I think it's maybe 3 o'clock right now. But yeah, sorry, that was a long sidebar, but that's mine. Anyway, so that's why if you hear yelling, it's no one's getting murdered. They're just Minecrafting. So anyway, so that's all about my Luminary socks by Helen Stewart and Minecraft. And so one of you lovely commenters mentioned that I should look into, because I was looking for a one skein shawl to use with that bamboo blend yarn that I had. And so the suggestion was this pattern called Close to Me. I think I wrote this down wrong. I did. Close to You Shawl by Justina Lukowska. And that was a super good, whoa, looking for the camera hole there. This was a really good suggestion, because this is turning out super, super cool. So I'm digging this so much. So this is gonna be like the body of the shawl here, and this is the border. So you get these like cool flappy wing things, and these are, you know, just yarn overs and stuff, but it's been super simple and super quick. Now, I am using bigger needles. I think they recommended a size 6 for fingering weight, and I'm using a size 9. And honestly, the only reason why I decided on a size 9 is because I liked the way that the green looked with the yarn. It's a highly technical process I use to figure this kind of stuff out. But anyway, because my yarn is a little bit thicker than fingering weight, that's what I decided to do. So this is a much looser gauge, I think, than what they were looking for, but that's okay. I'm liking it a lot, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. And my plan is, this is one of those shawls that you can just kind of knit until you run out of yarn. So that's what I'm gonna do, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this pattern. I can see this being a repeat knit as well. It's just really simple. It's a really good Netflix and knit, because most of the repeats are really, I mean, there's lots of garter rows, and then the repeats are really easy to memorize. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, so I mean, it doesn't hurt you at all to download it and give it a shot. And yeah, so we'll see. This is my first time knitting with a yarn that has bamboo fibers in it, so I'm really curious to see like how this is gonna block. Like, I don't know what this yarn does once you get it wet. Like, does it, when you block it, does the yarn like bloom? Does it tighten up? Does it, you know, run screaming from the needles? I don't, well, I guess it'd be off the needles if I'm blocking it, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna step into the void here, I guess. So that is my Close to You shawl. I'm gonna keep working on that. So in my last episode, I think I talked about having stash anxiety and how like I just don't want to have a lot of yarns laying around, which is true. And then I got a email from my not so local yarn shop, Elgin Knitworks, and they were putting together these kits for this mystery knit along shawl, and I had to buy it. So I have some stuff to show. So this is gonna be a whip pretty soon. So isn't this bag cute? They do this for their kits sometimes. So this is the Sharon from Security Mystery Knit Along. It's a shawl, and it's by Casapinka, and it starts August 7th. And so, like I said, my not so local yarn shop put together kits. So it's 4 colors, and this is all sock yarn. And Elgin Knitworks right now is supporting local dyers, and so our local dyer is this person who does Direful Yarns, and their motto is a scary story in every skein, which is, man, some of the knitting nightmares I've been through, I 100% agree with that. So like this is called Telltale Heart, which is obviously an Edgar Allan Poe reference. This one is a Necronomicon, which I'm really afraid to Google that, but maybe I will. This is a color that I have used before. So I will now have 3 shawls with this color in it, but I really like this color. It's Artemisia, which I also don't know what that is, but less scared to Google it, so maybe I will. And then this one is Death by Chocolate. So I'm pretty excited to start this. So I need to wind these guys up and get ready, because I guess the first clue comes out, I think it's August 7th, so that's coming up here pretty quick. It's the first today. I'm recording this August 1st. I should probably say that. But yes, this is a cute little kit. They sent a little tape measure with it too. Can never have too many of these laying around. So that's that. So I said that I was gonna buy those project bags from Whimzee Stitches, which I did. Hold on. Where are you guys at? And they are, they're perfect. They're exactly what I wanted. So I can put, it's like a small to medium sized bag, but you could put a couple of balls of yarn in here, or they're small enough where you could do a ball of yarn in each one. And I love that they're vinyl, so I know what's inside, because I'm the kind of person where if I pack something away in a bag or a box that's solid color, I will not remember what's in it, and then I gotta dig through it, and I hate that. So these are really, really cool. I just love this. And the fabric is so cute too. And then they just have a little drawstring at the top. So yeah, I'm super happy with this purchase. So I got the bags, but of course while I was on the website, I saw this yarn, this is not going to help my stash anxiety, but I have someone, okay, so the reason why I bought this yarn, and I'm sure you all go through this too, is like every once in a while you will find a skein of yarn and you can immediately picture the project and the person that the project is for. So this just screams my mother, okay? But in a good way. That kind of sounded off, but you see this like bling in there? And these pretty like pink and black speckles and stuff. This is like 100% my mom. And the name of the colorway is Paris Pinks, which is also like perfect. It's a 4-ply fingering weight yarn, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Lurex. So I'm really, really excited for this. This will probably be her Christmas present. And I know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm not gonna say that here because I don't know if my mom watches this. I don't know if she knows I have a podcast, but if she finds it, I don't want to spoil her Christmas present, so yes. So I've added to my stash anxiety, but I also got from, I love this, Whimzee Stitches, Rick, I can't pronounce his last name, Rick Najazan, chief zoologist and yarniologist. Come on, that's super cute. So he sent this little progress keeper too, which is a fleur-de-lis, which is, this is a new, if you're not from the States, this is like a real New Orleans thing. And this yarn shop or this small business is from New Orleans. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I will link them below. This is a good purchase and really fast shipping too. Like he was like at the post office with this the next day. It was pretty awesome. So I got that. I'm pretty psyched about that. Yeah, what else? I also, man, I have a lot of yarn coming. This was a dumb idea, but, well, it's not a dumb idea. It's just, I hate having too much yarn sitting around because then I feel pressure, and knitting and pressure should not be in the same sentence at all. Hold on, we're gonna pause for a drink. So I talked about Benta from Arctic Crafts and how I really wanted to get, or I was thinking about doing a sweater in this colorway that she does based on this mountain that she can see from her window. It's very near her home in Norway. And so she commented below that she would do a custom order. So she did one, and it's on the way, and I'm super excited. So I bought a sweater's quantity for, I'm gonna do the Rift sweater. And I can't remember the designer's name. It's Jacqueline. I can't remember her last name right now, but I'll put a little bar thing down here. So yeah, it's a crop sweater, and it's like kind of got a higher neck in the front and then a V-neck in the back, but you can wear the sweater either way, which I think is great. So like depending on like which dress I'm wearing it over or which skirt I'm wearing it with, that is that's gonna be really, I think, a great sweater. And I wanted to knit something fairly simple that would really like show off the yarn. So yeah, I'm super stoked about that. I got a couple other skeins with it too, which I'll show you when they come, but yeah, I'm really excited to get that package and cast on that sweater, because I haven't had like a big project on my needles in a while. I've just been like churning out socks and shawls, which is, you know, it's good stuff, but I feel like I need something meaty, you know, really sink my needles into. That came out a little odd, but anyway, I should show you this. So I bought, I think I mentioned before, I really like happy planners. I do a lot of happy planning, and I also do bullet journaling. And I finished off my last bullet journal, and I was gonna buy another one, and then they were just out of stock. I really love the Archer and Olive paper products, and their journals intended for bullet journaling especially are like the best. And they're really expensive. They're like $35, but it's like you buy one and it lasts like a year, which is, you know, I think it's better to spend $35 for the whole year than buy a whole bunch of notebooks and probably spend like twice that and not get something that you're happy with. So, so this is the one I got to replace my other one. This is the North Star pattern. Oh, now it's nice and shiny. Now you can see it. And it's cute. There's like two little ribbons here, and there's a little doohickey on the back of the one. Little bookmark here. Yeah, and so like there's my show notes, bullet journal style. But I was pretty happy. I set this up. This is what I spent most of my morning doing today. Just setting up like my bullet journaling. But for those of you who are also Harry Potter nerds, I have to show you like this little intro page. Look at my little Dobby sticker. I just wanted to have him to have his own little like trippy like page just randomly, because I know like I'll flip to it and it'll make me happy. So but yeah, so I got that this week and got it set up, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then that way I'll have like one place to keep my show notes in too, because I've been like scribbling things down in different places, and that is a recipe for disaster. So but yeah, nothing too much else is going on in the knitting world for me anyway. I know in the beginning I said I was gonna like find patterns on Ravelry and review them and find new weird things, and that has not really panned out. But the nice thing about this podcast is that I'm in charge of it. So if I change my mind, no one's gonna yell at me, hopefully. But yeah, so if you were hoping to see more of that, I mean, I guess let me know if that's something that you really liked or were interested in. I think I just did it on the first podcast, and I didn't really follow up after that. So I don't know. But yeah, it's been it's been a really long week. We have decided to not send the children back to school in the fall. We were given the option to do 100% e-learning, or they were going to open the school to 25% of the student population for 1 day a week. So every day for 4 days during the week, 25% of the kids would be there, which there's 3,000 kids at the school, plus like, I don't even know, 400 or 500 faculty, staff, everybody else as well. So I mean, it's a lot of people, even with just 25% of the student body. And they're only there like 1 day a week. So I kind of figured like for them to only be there 1 day a week and with no like clubs and extras and socialization, like none of the fun stuff, like I just didn't see the point. So the kids are going to be starting school from home in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I myself was homeschooled, but being homeschooled and doing e-learning from home are two very different things in my humble opinion. I mean, for me, homeschooling, like my mom was kind of like on the forefront of like the unschooling movement, if you know what that is. And so I was pretty in charge of like my own education after a certain point. Like I was basically just given like the curriculum, and I guess it's not really completely unschooling, but it's not like the typical like what you think of with homeschoolers where like all the kids are sitting around the kitchen table and the girls are all wearing long dresses and have long hair, and you know, and the mom's like writing stuff on a blackboard or a whiteboard behind them. That was not my homeschooling experience at all. It was much cooler than that, although I did wear long dresses and have long hair, but that's just because I was really into Little House on the Prairie for like ever. But I digress. So the kids are gonna start e-learning in 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea how we're gonna pull that off because I'm working from home when I'm not out in the field. And then there's 3 of them, and I don't know. We're just gonna have to figure it out like everybody else, I guess. But so anyway, we were gonna have, this is a funny story. We were gonna have a conference call with their dad because their dad and I we're divorced, and so we were gonna like FaceTime him all together. So I was gonna do it from my laptop, and so I went on my laptop and I just like punched in his number. But I punched in the last 4 digits wrong. So I'm FaceTiming and this person picks up the FaceTime call and it's like a grandma. And it was cute because she was like so excited to see all of us because we're just like, hi, oh. And I was like, I think we have the wrong number. And she's like, I think you do too, but that's okay. It's nice to see you. And I'm like, that's nice to see you too. Have a nice day. And then we're all just like, but I'm like, oh, who would pick up an unknown number FaceTime call? I mean, I guess the grandma would, but like, I don't know. That just seems like very, okay. If your grandma, listen, public service announcement right now, call your grandma and ask her if she is picking up FaceTime calls from people that she doesn't know, because I guarantee not all those people are going to be like me and my 3 kids. So check on your grandmas, everybody, because that could be a very not good situation. The last thing I want to do, and I probably should have said this at the beginning of the podcast in case people don't listen all the way to the end, because I know I don't always listen to the end of people's podcasts, especially if they're done with the knitting and they're just on to like story time. Sometimes I skip some of that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I'm gonna do a giveaway, guys. I'm gonna do it. I actually don't know how many subscribers I have right now, but I have been trying to like log in more frequently. Because since the last podcast, as you noticed, I was like completely shocked that I had like 400 subscribers. And I think the last time I checked in, I had like over 500 subscribers. So this is crazy. Like I was not expecting anything like that. So I feel like I need to like celebrate and say thank you. And so I'm gonna do a little giveaway. And what I'd like to do for entries is if you could post on this video below, just comment, and I want to know the name of your favorite book. So, and the reason I'm asking is because I just started, and part of my bullet journal, this is what I do, is I write a TBR list. So I need some different things to put on my TBR list because I have had like the same types of books on these lists for a while, and I was looking at my TBR list from my last bullet journal and I realized I have pretty much plowed through it. And I have some books around here that I need to read, but because I haven't been in a Barnes & Noble since like January, that was normally like how I would find new books, because I'm a very like hands-on, like I pick up the book and turn to a random page and read some, and if I like what I hear, then I buy the book. That's how I find books. So yes, so post below, tell me the name of your favorite book. You don't have to tell me why, but if you want to tell me why, that's great. But you have to put the name of the book in the comment, and I will, let's see, I'll leave it open until the end of August, so August 30th. I will, at that time, if you've made a comment below, I'll count that as an entry, and then I'll put all your names in an auto generator thing, and we'll pick a winner. And so I think what I'm gonna put together for you guys is, first of all, so I'm gonna stash bust a little bit. So this is a skein of yarn that was sent to me by Elgin Knitworks. I mean, I bought it, but like this was during quarantine, and I said, can you just send me a couple of skeins of sock yarn, just anything. Like I was blowing through my sock yarn at that point, and then I just never got around to knitting it. And it's like, it's a super cute skein, but I don't see a future for it, so I think it needs to find a better home. So this is Knitted Wit Victory Sock, and this is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's 420 yards, and it is in the colorway Paxi. So that's gonna be in there. And then the other thing is, so I think I mentioned before that I make my own like stitch markers and progress keepers, so I'm gonna make you a couple of those. And I'm also gonna throw in there a random book. So I also really like to, I don't like to keep a big library, so I really like to give away the books that I'm done with or trade them, pass them on. I just think that's a really lovely thing to like have a book and then pass it on to somebody else and not expect to get it back. Because I think printed books are really important. That's just, yeah, I'm an old school nerd like that. So you will get a random book that I have finished, and that is yours to keep and hopefully pass on to someone else after you read it, or not read it. Maybe you will put it in one of those little library things. Does everybody have those? The little like neighborhood libraries? Do you know what I'm talking about? The little like, I'm gonna put a picture right here. So in America we have, man, I can't remember what they're called, but you'll see they're handmade, like they're little cabinets, usually on a stand, but sometimes they're like built into a tree trunk or something else, and it's just a little cabinet with books in it, and it's just a little library, and you can add books to it, you can take books from it. It's just a little neighborhood thing. We only have a couple here in where I live, but in some neighborhoods, like especially like in the city and on the north side, there's quite a few of them. And I will put a link below, like where you can find the map for these things. I just think, I love this kind of stuff. I think that that's like the best thing ever, that you can be walking down the street and there's like a little free library like there for you, that someone has just installed in their front yard. Like that's the coolest thing ever. But how did I get there? Oh, if you don't like the book, donate it to a little library if you have those where you live. If not, oh, I don't know what you can do with it. You'll figure it out. I am gonna leave this open to international folks. Again, this is like a thank you and a gift, so I know international shipping is like crazy, but that's whatever. So if you're international and you want to comment below and enter, that's great. And I will select a winner. I'll draw it live, or not live, but I'll record it on the podcast, and then you'll need to reach out to me so that I can find out where you want me to send your stuff. So, ta-da! We'll see how this goes. Oh, guys, I don't even know what to say. So, yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'm going to sign off, and of course now it gets quiet. Finally, right? I've been recording now for 31 minutes on this video, and it's finally quiet in here, and that's just how it goes. But anyway, I'm gonna sign off and move on with my day, and yeah, I hope you guys are all staying safe and staying strong, and I'll catch you on the next one. Inside the